Helena in Denmark has a very unique question. I think I have been possessed by a demon of some sort. I can't go to church without screaming and shaking. And I get this weird craving of meat, uncooked raw meat. I don't know what to do. Do you have a do-it-yourself exorcism for me to use at home? Well, Helena, in fact, we do. I have a special 4-hour DVD series simply called Self-Deliverance. Some people say, why do you need 4 hours to teach somebody how to do deliverance on themselves? Well, it can be quite a risky, complicated process, particularly in your situation. But I encourage you to go to our web store and get this DVD series to get some immediate relief. Plus, I would encourage you to schedule a Skype exorcism with me. I do these all the time, nearly every day, to people all over the world. And that can be some immediate intervention. Now let's objectively look at your situation. We can't discount the possibility of mental aberration, and there could be some mental instability here. I'm not accusing you, I'm just saying this is so unique and in fact rare in the realm of demonic possession that it can sound like a kind of psychosis. But let's assume that it's all very real. There are some things that make me suspicious, assuming you're telling me the truth, that there's a spiritual component to this. First of all, these things happen in church. In other words, when you are in a sacred environment, you get a reaction. I'd also be interested in knowing if you have a reaction to sacred objects. For example, a Bible or something like our cross of deliverance. That would tell me more about what's going on here. But regarding this business of a craving for raw cooked meat, logically, it can only come from one of several places. As I said a moment ago, some kind of mental illness, or some kind of childhood trauma that you may not even remember and may be dissociated from, that would be connected with the eating of raw meat. One possibility is that somewhere in your past, and you may not know about it because it occurred so young, there could be some demonic ritualism, and someone in your family or an acquaintance of some kind that had access to you could have taken you through some demonic ceremonies. We often find people who have aversions, such as you've described, are related back to things such as satanic ritual abuse. It could just be the nature of the demon that you have if you are demon possessed. Think about it this way. Let's suppose that somewhere in your distant past there is an ancestor who was a cannibal, and they did this. Well, you could have a demon passed on from that ancestor, a curse passed on from that ancestor, or, as I've described in some of our DVDs, in our School of Exorcism, and in other questions that I have answered, the possibility of what we call ancestral generational dissociation. In other words, the memory imprint genetically passed through the bloodline of some ancestor who, for whatever reason, on a continuing basis or a temporary basis, practiced some form of cannibalism, and that desire of that ancestor is imprinted on your soul, and that craving is expressing itself through you. Whatever the case, you've got to get some help. You have two basic symptoms that must receive immediate intervention. One, you can't go to church without getting what appears to be a demonic manifestation. And number two, this odd, strange craving that you have that can, if you're not mentally unstable now, drive you to the point of mental instability. In fact, the very purpose of all of this may be a spirit of insanity that wants to drive you crazy with all of these cravings. Please get our DVD series on self-deliverance. Please try to schedule a Skype session. And don't give up the pursuit of your freedom. This is an unusual case, but we deal with these all the time. There is hope through Jesus Christ, and you can be delivered from this craving. And you can, in the future, go to church, praise, worship God, hear the teaching of His Word, grow in Him, and have a normal Christian life.
He took the curses away from me. Go see Bob Larson because he can help you.
If your life isn't all that it should be, if relationships aren't working, if your health, your finances, or your spiritual life are unhappy, schedule a personal one-on-one encounter with me. We'll get to the root of the issues that are holding you back. We'll give you answers in a whole new direction in life.
Oh, what a change, what a difference when you have an encounter with God.
Take action. I look forward to seeing you soon.
We encourage your support for this worldwide outreach to do what Jesus did. For the latest information on resources, seminars, conferences, training institutes, retreats, and international missions, go to boblarson.org. Thank you for your prayers and financial partnership.